Welcome to One Stop Co-op Shop. Steve here with a playthrough of Street Masters with the new Aftershock. Time to pause the montage to jump into some more detailed setup. So first things first, let's shuffle up our deck and draw 4 cards to see what our starting hand is. So here's our hand that we can mulligan from. We have got, looks like 1, 2 ability cards, a tactic, which I always like to see. I probably came to that one. And then a attack card that is, this symbol of pyramid is upgraded. So one thing about this game is I really like playing what's called hyper mode, where you play with an upgraded hero deck. So I went through the deck and found one of these normal cards and replaced it with its upgraded version. Now to make things more interesting, I've also done that with the enemy deck. So I like having upgraded heroes and enemies fighting each other. Well, from this hand, I think I'll hang on to this tactic card and then I'll draw 3 more and see what we get. Drawing 3 more cards, I'm happy with what I see because I got a tactic card and it's the upgraded tactic cards. I'm really happy to see that. Got another one. So I got all 3 of my tactic cards and it looks like I have 1 more attack card. So I really like the starting hand. Let's set up the enemies, the abandoned. So in this one, I'm playing against Project X. It's kind of a cool like mutant type character. So we have 20 health, 3 attack. And then this boss has a setup. It says remove each mutation card from the enemy deck. Shuffle them together and put 1 in each fighter's threat area. Shuffle the rest of them back into the enemy deck. And then when this guy attacks, we'll see it later, he's going to try attacking, targeting 2 different fighters. Each fighter must either resolve the mutate effect on each mutation card in their threat area or discard 1 card they control. So this guy's all about having mutations reach you from all over the board. So here's the mutation cards. Let's shuffle them up a bit and we'll take this one right here. Horrifying Growth. Ooh, gross. So this mutation has 7 health. As you can tell, it is an upgrade version. And this one says, put this card into your threat area. When Project X attacks, she's considered to be engaged with you. Project X cannot be defeated while this card is in play, so we have to get rid of this mutation somehow. When Project X suffers damage, the fighters may assign any amount of that damage to this card instead. So this is how you can attack the card to get rid of it, by doing 7 damage to it. And here's the mutate effect. Heal 2 damage from this card, then move 3 spaces away from Project X. Oh boy, so it looks like this is going to kind of manipulate us a bit and try to keep the Project X pretty healthy. So that's going to go in our threat area. Let's take a look at our stage card for Bogged Down. It says, stage setup. Place each objective token in its corresponding space, inactive side up. Remove toxic gators and corporate interests from the stage deck and put them in the stage play area. Shuffle the deck. So here's the other side for Bogged Down. Stage rules. If each objective is active, the fighters will lose. It's pretty straightforward. The bad guy's probably going to run around trying to flip over all those objective tokens. It says each time a fighter enters a bog space, they are attacked by toxic gators. They resume their movement after the attack. So we need to try to stay out of that area. It says each time the boss moves into an inactive objective token space, flip that objective to its active side. So yeah, the boss is just going to run around and try to flip everything over. And yep, here's to activate. The boss moves 3 spaces towards the nearest inactive objective on the map. And those are just the bog spaces on the map. Let's take a quick peek at Toxic Gators. So here's a fight value of 2 dice. It says, when this card would attack a fighter, that fighter may discard 1 power from this card to cancel that attack. It says when you activate this card, a fighter in a bog space may discard 1 power to place 1 power on this card. So if you jump in the bog, I guess you can maybe tame the gators a little bit. And here's corporate interests. It says flip an active objective in your space to its inactive side to force toxic gators to attack, targeting each enemy within 1 space of a bog. Well, that's nice. You can kind of get the allies to attack the bad guys for you. And activate each fighter within 1 space of an objective space is attacked by toxic gators. So there's going to be gators all over this place, attacking everyone. So here's where we place all the inactive objective tokens on their spaces. We're not done yet. We'll grab the loot deck. And the loot deck is larger because now we have additional cards in it from the expansion. So it's, I don't say, twice the size. And I'm a big fan of playing with missions. So let's look at what mission to do. So setup. After setting up the stage, shuffle the mission deck and set it near the loot deck. Create a supply of mission tokens near the mission deck by adding 5 of your mission tokens. Each fighter draws 1 mission card. So what that means is we have 5 tokens of whatever player color you want, and we have a mission deck. And So what it does is each time a fighter completes a mission, that fighter discards their active mission and gains one of their mission tokens and then draws a mission card. So effectively you always have a mission going on. And missions, I'll show you what they do, but basically it means you have to sacrifice something to get something good later on. And it says fighters may spend their mission tokens on any effect listed on the back of this card. So taking a look at the token effects, probably my favorite one honestly is this first one. Before a fighter's attack, you may add +1 die to that attack, which is just for one mission token. That's really nice. For 2, you can spend that. Choose one fighter to draw a card or play one tactic during the turn. 3, during a turn, each fighter may draw one loot. 4, a fighter may perform one additional action during the turn. And 5, each fighter may perform an action during your turn. So when playing solo, we'll never do 5, but 5 is pretty powerful in multiplayer games. And the mission card we start with is Task at Hand. You can't always punch your way out of every situation. Sometimes you have to focus on less obvious threats. During your draw phase, you may complete this mission if you did not attack during your turn. That's a pretty nice mission to start with because I may not be attacking in the first turn. I might be prepping or setting up. So if I don't do that, I get one of those mission tokens. The other thing you can do with mission cards is during the threat phase, you can choose to discard your mission card to redraw another one. You do that once per turn during the threat phase. Enough set up, let's start the game. So the first abandoned card we get is this one. Biological Mind Link. Ooh, event card. Each fighter with a mutation card in the threat area, well, that's us, resolves the mutate effect of each mutation card in their threat area. Okay. Then each fighter reveals an attack card in their hand, if able, and resolves it, targeting themselves or another eligible fighter. Oh man, that's really unfortunate. By the way, this is upgraded, so I think regular cards don't do both. I think it's a either or. But because I like playing with upgraded enemies, that's pretty brutal. Fortunately, our effect is pretty simple. It's just heal 2 damage from this card, which it doesn't have any wounds on it, so nothing happens there. And then move 3 spaces away from Project X. Well, we're kind of starting in this corner of the map anyway, so I guess we'll just move 2 spaces down in that corner instead. Unfortunately, we do have an attack card. Electromagnetic Disruption, so we have to attack ourselves with this. So attack with 2 dice, then move a fighter up to 3 spaces. After this movement, discard up to 3 defense tokens of your choice from enemies engaged with that fighter. So I guess we're just going to attack ourselves with 2 dice, and that's going to result in punch damage. And then I guess we can move 3 spaces. So actually moving back in the corner didn't really matter a whole lot because we're going to get the chance to move anyway. Okay, hopefully we can stop hitting ourselves. Hit ourselves with two punches. Obviously in the start of the game we don't have any defense, so we'll just take straight 2 wounds for that. Now, I think the really unfortunate thing about this is our mission, during your draw phase, you may complete this mission if you did not attack during your turn. We attacked ourselves because the boss made us attack ourselves, so I guess we can't complete this. Well, that's kind of really unfortunate. Oh well, c'est la vie. I think we're going to start a turn by playing this card Regeneration. So it says here, each time a fighter ends their move step without moving, they heal 1 damage. And then we can exhaust to move a fighter 2 spaces. And Faint, which means discard from play, each fighter heals 2 damage. So because we have that damage to start, might as well play this to try to heal ourselves up a little bit. Now the interesting thing about Vada is she doesn't really want to move. A lot of her cards can move fighters instead. So she tries to not use her move action, but use cards in place of it. Now a quick look at her cards. She does have 14 health, 5 to become charged, and her main attack is Kick. So Psychokinesis says, you may move a fighter up to 3 spaces, then attack with 2 dice. You may perform this attack as if you were in any fighter space. It's really nice for multiplayer, but for solo, it won't matter. Now her charge side is amazing. Action. You may move 4 figures up to 3 spaces each, then attack with 3 dice targeting each enemy engaged with a fighter, then flip this card. So it's really fun to pull everyone to you and just do this massive attack. So hopefully you can pull that off a few times. You know what? If I got to move 3 spaces from that attack card where we attacked ourselves with. So let's go and move 3 spaces from that. And then we can exhaust a card to move 2 spaces again. I might just do that. We could move into the Bog, which will get attacked by gators. We don't have any defense. I kind of want to avoid that. So let's try to go around the Bog. I'll exhaust my card to move 2 here. And then let's use our action to do a defend action. We get 2 grab. So we'll add 2 grab defense tokens to Vada. So we played a card. We just did our action step to defend. And then I'm going to choose to not use my move step. So this way I can use regeneration to heal. So we'll heal 1 damage. Ending my turn, we only have this horrifying growth in our threat area and there's no activate text, so we won't do anything. We'll just move straight into our draw step. Where we draw this card, which is Electromagnetic Disruption. Ooh, upgraded attack. Well, that's the attack card we used against ourselves, but this is the better version of it. So now onto the enemy turn. Project X has an activated ability right here. It says Project X attacks targeting 2 different fighters. Now, she's on the other side of the board, but it doesn't matter because if you look at the mutation of cards, it says here when Project X attacks, she's considered to be engaged with you. So we're going to get attacked by this 3 attack. Then it says each fighter must either result in mutate effect on each mutation card in their threat area or discard 1 card they control. So we're going to get attacked and have to deal with the mutate. They attack with a grab and a kick and a punch, so 1 of everything. We do have a grab token, so we'll flip that over to a power size, but the other 2 will have to take as damage. So 2 more damage puts us up to 3 total. So now we have to either discard a card or do mutate. I'll do the mutate. It says heal 2 damage from this card, which it has no damage on it. Then move 3 spaces away from Project X. So Project X is way up here in the corner, and we're down here, so I guess we'll move 1, 2, 3 spaces away. And now for the stage turn, the boss will move 3 spaces towards the nearest inactive objective on the map. So it's going to move 1, 2, 3 right there. So now we look at Toxic Gators, and it says activate a fighter in a bog, which we are not. We discard 1 power to place 1 power on this card, so we'll skip that. Corporate Interest says each fighter within 1 space of an objective space is attacked by Toxic Gators. And we're not that close, so we'll ignore that as well. Our new stage card is Bot Time. If there are more inactive objectives than active objectives, 1 fighter may perform 1 action and each other fighter may draw a card. Oh yeah, we definitely have more inactive than active because they're all inactive. So it looks like we need to do an action. Not draw a card, just do an action. Well, since we got pushed back, I think we're just going to use the action to sprint, which means we move 3 spaces. So let's go ahead and start moving up towards where the boss is up here. So let's go 1, 2, 3 right there. Let's go into round 2. Round 2, we start with another mutation, Toughened Flesh. So put this card in your threat area just like before. When he attacks, she's considered to be engaged with you. So same thing as before. Cannot defeat Project X while this is in place, same thing as before. And it says when Project X suffers damage, you can assign damage to this. So this one is 10 health instead of the other one we had 7. But mutate, Project X gains 1 of each type of defense token and attacks. Wow, that's horrible. Yeah, we're gonna have to try to get rid of this one pretty quick. Now we have the option of getting rid of task at hand, but I don't think I'm gonna get close enough to attack the boss yet. So I think I'm just going to hang on to it for now. This should be an easy one to resolve. First thing I'll do is I'll play this tactic Unstable Ground. So this one says, exhaust, discard 2 defense tokens of your choice from an enemy within 3 spaces. Yeah, shake the ground for them. Or action, discard 3 defense tokens of your choice from each enemy. That is pretty epic. Just rattle the whole playing field. And of course you can feint, which choose a type of defense token, discard all defense tokens of that type from each enemy. So that's pretty nice if you want to punch a hole in a defense for another player to wreak some havoc. But since this is an upgraded version of tactic, I'm probably not going to use that last option. So we kind of want to get closer to that guy. So I think what we're going to try to do is use our regeneration to exhaust it to move 2 spaces. And I think we're going to just move 1, 2 here. We have an action step and we have another move step. I am going to forfeit our move step so that we can heal one time. And for our action step, I think I'm just going to defend again. So roll the dice and we get a kick and a punch. So we'll add those defense tokens to Vada. We only have mutation cards in our threat area, so we'll just skip that and go directly to our draw phase and draw a card. We get Siphoning Essence. You may heal 2 damage for each enemy engaged with me and then attack 3 dice. That's awesome. So now for Project X. Project X is going to want to attack 2 fighters. And then I have to resolve the mutate effect on each mutation card in the threat area or discard a card I control. So I think we're going to suffer the 3 attack and then do both our effects on our mutations. Here comes a 3 attack. We get 2 kicks and a punch. We do have 1 kick and 1 punch, which turns into a power each, and then we'll take 1 damage from that attack. Now the rule is you always resolve the oldest cards first, so we'll do this first mutate. It says heal 2 damage from this card, there's no damage on it. Then move 3 spaces away from Project X. So we're going to move a little bit further away again. And Project X gains 1 of each type of defense tokens and attacks. So we'll move 1, 2, 3 back there. I think we're going to just have to wind up using our move action just to get up there, because this is not going so well. And now Project X is going to gain 1 of each defense token. So you have 1 of each. And then attack with 3 dice. Looks like we get 1 of each. Grab, punch, and kick. We do have 1 grab, so turn to power. And the other 2 we take as damage. That's going to put us up to 5 total damage. Moving on to the stage turn. So Project X can move 1 here, which is going to flip this over to the active state. And with 2 more movement, 1, 2 heading towards the green spot, because that's the next closest. Then Toxic Gators are going to attack anyone that's in a bog. Fighters, which we're not. And then if we were in a bog space, we could discard a power to put a power onto Toxic Gators, which we're not. And in Corporate Interest, if we're near one of these spaces, we would then be attacked by Gators, but we're not near the spots either, so nothing happens there. We'll draw a new stage card, and it says bot time. Oh, just like before. This is nice. There's more inactive objectives than actives, which there are. One fighter may perform 1 action. I think this is an easy choice. We have to attack him. We have to get rid of some of these mutations. So let's go ahead and go 1, 2, 3. And you know what I forgot? I forgot to resolve our mission card, because at the end of the draw step, we didn't attack. So we get to complete this mission. We gain 1 mission token. Our new mission card is Investigate. There has to be more information here. Something you're overlooking. It's not safe to root around during the fight, but a quick scan could reveal many secrets. During your turn, exhaust a tactic card you control while you are in a crate space to complete this mission. So I apologize. I should have drawn this card during the draw step, because I would have completed it, but it wouldn't have made a difference anyway. However, we do have Unstable Ground that's ready, and we can do exhaust abilities at any time, as long as you're not interrupting another action or card. So because we're actually within 3 spaces of Project X, well, let's go ahead and exhaust this to discard 2 defense tokens from that enemy. I'm going to choose to get rid of the grab and the kick. The grab because I have a really good grab attack in my hand. I think I'm going to play that card, and kick because that's our primary action. Okay, starting on a new turn, we get Stacy, our minion. 4 health minion, 2 fight. Comes to play with 1 punch defense and 2 kick defense. See what she does. She says, retreat 2 spaces. Then this enemy attacks the nearest fighter within 5 spaces of it. Fighter that suffers damage from this attack must discard 1 card they control. If this enemy could not attack, advance 2 spaces towards the nearest fighter and gain 1 random defense token. Well, that's annoying. She's weak, but I don't want to lose my cards. So we might have to deal with her. I don't want to deal with Stacy this turn. I kind of want to lay into the boss to try to get rid of the mutation. So I'm going to put Stacy over here, because both these spots are 5 spaces away, so we can choose where she enters. Let's go ahead and do our action for Psychokinesis. So we can move a fighter up to 3 spaces and attack with 2 dice. You may perform this attack as if you were in any fighter space. Well, I'm just going to move 3 and attack the boss. Let's avoid the bog. 1, 2, 3. Let's move up there. And let's attack. Because I really want to get rid of this mutation, I'm going to spend a mission token to get additional dice for that attack. So it'll be 3 dice. Excellent. We get attack, a block, and a critical, which means you roll an extra dice. Into another critical. Awesome. Into a hit and a block. So total we have 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. That means 4 attack damage. I'm definitely going to choose to do that to this toughened flesh. So let's do 4 damage to this mutation. I need 6 more to take it out. Let's go and follow up with a Siphon Essence. So it's a grab attack. I may heal 2 damage for each enemy engaged with me. So only 1 enemy engaged with me, so I do heal 2. I'm down to 3 damage. And the important thing is, let's attack with 3 dice. Not what I was hoping, but it's not bad. That's 3 successes and 1 defense. Because this is grab, we'll get the grab defense and 3 damage to that same mutation. I'm going to choose not to do my move step, instead heal 1 damage from regeneration. Now Stacy wants to attack me, but Stacy will attack a fighter within 5 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are outside the range of Stacy. So she won't do that. Instead, she's going to advance 2 spaces toward the nearest fighter and gain 1 random defense token. So move 1, 2. And when you advance, you try to move in a straight line if you can. And she gains another defense, which will be a punch. It's going to draw a card. We get Tactic, Practice Patience. Oh, excellent. This is our 3rd tactic we needed. So it says each time a fighter ends their move step without moving, they gain 1 random defense token. Then we can exhaust to choose a fighter. Then we move 1 space and gain 1 random defense token. And you can feint this for more defense tokens. So this is perfect. I really need to build my defense to deal with all these attacks coming at me. Now, unfortunately for the enemy turn, the boss is going to attack me with 3 dice. So we have a grab, a punch, and a kick. 1 of each. I have 2 of those tokens, which become powered. And I'll take 1 damage. Now the nice thing is, I can discard 5 of that power to become charged. So now our Horrifying Growth will force us to move 3 spaces away. 1, 2, 3. And Toughen Flesh mutation will gain 3 defense tokens for the boss. And then attack us again. Same attack, let's see what happens. We get a grab and 2 kicks. We do have 1 kick, will become a power, and the others will be damage. Brings us up to 5 total damage. Now I was kind of expecting this, so I'm going to use my regeneration to exhaust it now to move 2 spaces closer to the boss. And then I'm going to use Unstable Ground to shake it up and get rid of 2 defense tokens from the boss. Because I have a punch card in my hand, I'm going to get rid of a kick and a punch. Now for the stage deck, the boss can move 3 spaces. 1, 2, and now this is the closest one, so 3. That flips over. Toxic Gators doesn't do anything because we're not in a bog space. Same thing with Corporate Interest because we're not near an objective space. And so we'll just draw a new card. We get Big Bugs. So it says, the fighter with the fewest defense tokens places this card in the threat area. Well, just because I'm the only player, I get it too. After Toxic Gators attacks you, discard this card to place 1 power on it. It says activate. This card attacks you, then you may discard 1 defense token to have this card attack each figure adjacent to you. Ooh, I can maybe even use that to my advantage. The start of the turn, we get a new enemy card. We get a Red Stacy. She is going to appear right back here. I'm going to choose to do a new mission card. I'm going to choose to draw, and we get no weapons. So you toss the weapon aside, refusing to sink to the enemy's level. They can be handled traditionally, head to head and fist to fist. So during your turn, you may discard 1 loot to complete this mission. I don't have any loot, but that hopefully will change because I think I'm going to try to do a big attack here. Because Vada is powered, look at this kinetic chaos. We move 4 figures up to 3 spaces each, then attack with 3 dice, targeting each enemy engaged with a fighter. Then flip this card. So yeah, let's have some fun. Before I do that, I think I'm going to use my regeneration card to move 2 spaces to pick up this loot. Because we can either use the loot or use the loot for another attack dice, which would be great. So we get Adrenaline Shot. During your fighter's turn, you may discard this card to have the fighter perform an additional action. That's pretty good, actually. But I think we're going to use this to complete our mission instead. And then I'm going to use my Unstable Ground to shake things up again. And let's go ahead and get rid of 2 kick defense tokens from Red Stacy. And finally, let's do Kinetic Chaos. So let's move everyone, or actually to say 4 figures, up to 3 spaces each. So, and that includes me as well. Let's see. I'm actually fairly happy where I am. I want to make sure I don't go too far, but I do want to get closer to this so I can flip it back over. Let's move there. Let's go ahead and move this guy to our Project X. She can move there, and then she can move 1, 2, 3 here. So now we have everyone around us. I'm going to spend that mission token right away to get an additional dice. Now we're rolling 4 dice for this attack. We get 1, 2, 3, 4 kicks and a kick defense. Nice thing is that it's going to take out this Stacy. The purple Stacy is going to gain 2 wounds. And the boss is going to take 4 wounds as well, but instead I'm going to deal it to this mutation, Toughened Flesh, to get rid of it. And the loot we get is a lead pipe. Oh, this is awesome. Okay, discard this card to deal 3 direct damage to an adjacent enemy. I'm going to do that right now to take out that purple Stacy. Boom, and she's gone too. We get another loot card, which is Leather Whip. So this gives us +2 to the attack when we do a grapple attack. Now unfortunately we powered down, but that was totally worth it. During all that excitement, I forgot to draw a new mission card. So our new mission card is Interrogate. Knowing full well that you're playing to the enemy's hands, you have no choice but to press them for information. During my turn, I can move 2 of my defense tokens to an enemy to complete this mission. Ooh, that's not bad because I can easily get rid of defense tokens. I might just do that. For my card step, I'm going to play Practice Patience. So each time a fighter ends their move step without moving, they gain 1 random defense token. So exhaust, we can choose a fighter. That fighter may move 1 space and gain 1 random defense token, and then feint this for more defense tokens. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I am actually going to exhaust that card to move 1 space. Here, I'm moving the bog intentionally so I can get rid of this big bugs event. So I'm going to move 1 space and gain 1 random defense token. See what we get? We get a kick. And now the gators will attack us. So we get a kick and a grapple. I do have 1 kick to block it. That turns into power. And grapple will be 1 damage. Now the nice thing is, after Toxic Gators attacks us, we can discard this card to place 1 power on Toxic Gators. So put 1 power on Toxic Gators, and just a reminder what that does is, when this card would attack a fighter, the fighter may discard 1 power from this card to cancel that attack. So let's go ahead and end our move step, which we didn't move, so that means we heal 1 damage, and we get a random defense token, which is a punch. We only have the mutation in our threat area, so we'll draw a new card, and we get Environmental Manipulation. So this card, it says, you may move each figure up to 3 spaces, then each fighter gains 1 random defense token for each enemy engaged with them. Now for the enemy turn, Project X is going to attack us with 3 dice. We have 2 punches and a kick. We do have a punch and a kick defense token. Nice thing is, that does give us 5 power, so we become charged. But we still take 1 extra damage because of 1 that was not blocked. Now we have to discard a card or resolve each mutation effect. So for us, that's healing 2 damage on the Horrifying Growth, which doesn't have any damage on it. And then we have to move 3 spaces away. So I kind of intentionally place ourselves there, so we'd move 1, 2, 3 and gain a loot. We get Nail Bomb. And at any time you may discard this card to deal 2 general damage to each enemy. Awesome, because you can hit people anywhere on the board. And now the bad guy will move 1, 2, 3 to flip this one over. So getting a little crazy here. We have 3 objectives that are active. So now we do Toxic Gators. We're not in a bog space, so can't add power to the card. And then if we were within 1 space of this objective token, we'd get attacked by the Gators, but we're not. So nothing happens, and we draw a new stage card. And we get big bugs again. Before we end our turn, I am going to use Interrogate and give 2 defense tokens to the boss. During the threat phase, I'm going to draw a new mission card, and we get no weapons again, which means we need to get rid of a loot card to complete this. And the new enemy card we get is another Stacy, a green one this time. She's going to enter right here. So I'm going to go ahead and end my move stuff right away to heal 1 damage and gain a defense token. Get a grab. That's from Regeneration and Practice Patience. And now that I'm charged, I'm close enough where it's tempting to flip that over. But I'm not at risk of losing right now, and the fact that I'm charged, I think I just want to do as much damage as possible, maybe even take out her if I can. I think probably the best bet is, let's go ahead and discard this Leather Whip. It's really good, but I don't have any grapple cards in my hand to use it, so I'd rather get the mission token. Then we get a new mission card. We get Find a Weakness. So, know your enemy, an old saying that you like to live by. But to know your enemy, you have to test yourself against them, even if it means dropping your guard. After an enemy blocks 3 or more damage from one of your attacks, complete this mission. I don't know if that's going to happen, so there's not a whole lot of defense on the board, and I've been dropping it quite a bit with some of the other cards I have. So really what I need to do is I need to get close enough where I can pull the boss 3 spaces towards me, and I need to be adjacent to the boss. So what I could do is let's go ahead and exhaust regeneration to move 2 spaces here. And let's exhaust practice patience to move 1 space here. Now this means the Toxic Gators are going to attack me. So they attack me with a grab and a punch. I do have a grab, so I can block that one, but the punch will be 1 damage. Now I don't mind that because at least I get rid of the big bugs card. Oh, actually I'm supposed to get a random defense token too, which actually would have been a punch, and I should have resolved that before interrupting my movement, so instead of taking that 1 damage, I'll instead gain additional power. Because I would have had the defense token from that, and it would have been a power. Sorry about that. Got too excited. Okay, and now let's go ahead and use our Unstable Ground to remove 2 kick defense token from the green Stacy. And now that she's defenseless against my kick attacks, let's do our Kinetic Chaos and pull everyone towards us. 1, 2, 3, let's move right there. And then let's attack everyone. And of course, spend our mission token to get +1 die. We get a critical, a hit, and a block. So let's add another dice to this roll. We get another hit. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a kick defense. Good news is that's enough to take out Stacy. The card we get for loot is cash. At any time you may discard this card to exhaust a minion within 4 spaces of you. So that means is you can basically pay him off so they won't attack you for 1 turn. Now instead of doing 4 damage to the boss, I'm going to do 4 damage to that mutation card. Now sadly we're not charged anymore, but I kind of want to play this Electromagnetic Disruption. Attack with 3 dice to move the fighter up to 5 spaces. After this movement, you can discard 3 defense token of your choice from each enemy engaged with that fighter. So what I'm hoping to do, if I can deal enough damage, and I only need 3 more damage, I can get rid of that other mutation. Now, it's a little silly, but I think I'm going to play the Nail Bomb, simply because this will get rid of the last 2 defense tokens on the boss. I know it's only going to hit him, but I want to have a decent chance, because if I roll a success on each of those dice, that means I get rid of that mutation. Okay, come on, let's see what happens. And we get 1, 2, 3. 3 successes, which is exactly what I needed. I'm going to do all 3 of that to Horrific Growth, which will bring up to 7, which gets rid of it. So now I can move 5 spaces. I think I'm just going to move here. And that's because I can then hopefully flip that over on my next turn and buy me a little more time. Overall, pretty happy with that turn. I have nothing to resolve during my threat area. Let's go ahead and draw a card. And we get Forceful Spirit. Each fighter may either move up to 3 spaces or heal 3 damage. Nice. I love my support characters. Okay, now Project X goes. Project X is going to attack, targeting 2 different fighters. However, I am not engaged with Project X anymore, so they will not attack me. I also don't have any mutation cards, so it doesn't do anything. Now, during Project X's activation, she's going to attack me, but I'm not adjacent to her anymore because I don't have the mutation. So she will not attack me, and because I don't have the mutation, I don't have to resolve it anymore, so I'm good to go. Let's move on to the stage turn. So now it looks like Project X is going to move 1, 2, 3 towards this objective. It wants to flip. I'm not in a bog, so I can't put a power on Toxic Gators. But for corporate interests, I will get attacked by Toxic Gator because I am at least 1 space away from an objective token. However, I can spend 1 power from Toxic Gators to ignore that attack, which I will do. We get a new card. We get On the Clock. It says, for each inactive objective token, the boss moves 1 space towards the nearest inactive objective token. Since we have 2, the boss will move 2 spaces closer. 1, 2. So getting pretty close to that one. Moving on to the next round, we get an Amalgam enemy. So 7 health, 3 attack. Says this enemy gains 1 random defense token for each mutation in play. Advance 3 spaces towards the nearest fighter and attack each fighter within 2 spaces. That's interesting because he's got this, what do you call it, this stand next to him. He can actually attack further away. The nice thing is, there aren't any mutations in play, so yeah, I'm glad we got rid of those. Now, unfortunately, he does enter play right here, right next to me. So this is going to be fun. I'm going to go ahead and use my action to interact with this objective token. So let's see what that does. So here's the text. It says, flip an active objective in your space to its inactive side, which we just did, to force toxic gators to attack, targeting each enemy within 1 space of a bog. So the nice thing is, we actually have both those guys near a bog. So we'll roll 2 white dice and it'll attack both those enemies, the boss and the amalgam. Let's see what we get. We get a kick and a punch. Now the punch will get blocked by Project X. They do have 1 defense token. However, the other damage will actually deal damage to Project X. So now there's our first damage out of the 20. And our poor Amalgam has no defense token, so he takes straight 2 damage from the Toxic Gators. Let's go ahead and my move step, which means I'm going to gain a defense token and heal. For defense, I get a kick. So I think I'm going to use my regeneration and my practice patience to move 3 spaces total. 1, 2, 3, let's move here. Let's get away from that objective token. And then I will actually gain another defense token from practice patience, which is a grab. I'm going to exhaust unstable ground to shake the ground underneath the boss to get rid of their last defense token. I'm just going to take it easy this time. I'm going to play my Force-Filled Spirit to choose to either move 3 or heal 3. I'm going to choose to heal 3. So now after all that, I only have 1 damage left. Now this Amalgam is going to attack me, but instead I think I'm going to discard my cash to stop him from activating. And then that's going to end my turn. So what we'll do is, I do have a minion to activate, but like I said, he's exhausted, so instead he'll ready. And then we'll draw a card. We will draw Practice Patience again. Moving on to enemy turn, I'm not engaged with the boss, and I don't have any mutations, so nothing's going to happen. We'll move on to the stage effect, which the boss will move here to flip this over. And then we'll move to the next closest, which is actually this yellow one up here. So it's going to move 1, 2 next to me. Now Toxic Gators doesn't do anything. Same thing with Corporate Interest. We'll just get a new stage card, which will get Radioactive Eyes. If there is 1 power, because 1 player in this game, on Toxic Gators, a fighter may take control of this card, otherwise discarded. Oh, what would this have done? When you would be attacked by Toxic Gators while engaged, you may discard this card to make that attack target an enemy adjacent with you, or engage with you. Oh, that's awesome. So you can like redirect the Gator attacks. Okay, let's start a new round. I didn't like the card I had, Find a Weakness, because these guys just don't have any defense. So they're not going to block my attacks. Instead, let's go and get a new mission card. We're going to get Threaten. You let the enemy know how capable you are by putting on a show of your prowess. It exerts some energy, but you think it also may have shaken their confidence. At the end of your move step, while you are engaged with an enemy, any fighter may discard an ability card to let you complete this mission. That's not bad. And then we get a new enemy card. We get another Amalgam, a yellow one this time. And he's going to go right here. So unfortunately, I don't really have any good attack options right now. Just my basic attack for Psychokinesis. Well, I think the obvious choice is to let's forfeit our move step. And so what we can do with that is, since we forfeit that, we can regenerate. So we can heal 1. So now we're at full health. And we gain 1 defense token. So we get a grab. And then we can also complete Threaten, which I will do. I have this ability card which lets me move each figure up to 3 spaces and gain defense tokens from it, but so it's fine, but I don't know. I think it's better just to get the mission completed. Our new mission card is Task at Hand. So during the draw phase, you may complete this mission if you did not attack during your turn. Ooh, that might actually, ooh. Well, I was going to attack, but maybe I don't. Yeah, maybe, honestly, maybe I won't do that anymore. Instead, let's go ahead and exhaust regeneration and practice patience to move 3 spaces. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 right here. I am going to have to, well, I have to move 2 spaces and then get attacked. So let's resolve the attack first. Toxic Gators attack me with 2 dice, a punch and a grab. I do have a grab, so we'll take that and turn it into power, and the other one will be a damage to me. And then I'll move 1 more space into that spot. Also gain a random defense token from that ability, so we get a kick. So many kicks. I mean, it's tempting to attack all these guys, but I think I'm going to build up for a huge attack instead. So let's go ahead and defend. I'm going to roll 2 dice and get more defense tokens. So a punch and a kick. And then let's go ahead and practice patience. So I'll gain 3 random defense tokens. Give me all the defense. We get, let's see, 2 kicks and a grab. And I did that because I have another practice patience in play in my hand, so I'll just put that into play. That is going to end my turn, so we're going to have the green guy is going to want to gain 1 random defense token for each mutation in play, which there are none. And it'll advance 3 spaces towards me and attack if I'm within 2. So it'll be 1, 2, 3 here, and I'm not within 2, so it does not attack me. This guy will do the same, so he will attack me with 3 dice because I'm right next to him. I gained a lot of defense. Hopefully I can get charged up because I want to take out all these guys. Let's see. Let's roll these dice. We get a grab and 2 punches. I do have a grab and a punch, so that will turn to power, and that equals our 5 power we need, so we are charged. But the one I couldn't block will become damage. Moving into our draw step, we get a new card. We get Siphoning Essence. So you can heal 1 damage for each enemy engaged with me and then attack 2 dice. And now, because we did not attack, we can complete task at hand and get a 2nd mission token. And in place of it, we get Wait and See. Sometimes it's best to play it safe and hang back until the time is right. During your draw phase, you may choose to draw 1 less card to heal 1 damage and complete this mission. I really like how the missions give you some method of healing, which is awesome. Okay, now Project X will go. Project X will not attack me. I don't have any mutations, so I don't have to worry about that. I can skip on over to the stage turn. So now the boss will move 3 spaces towards the closest one. 1, 2, 3. Makes it there and flips it over. So now just needs 1 more to flip over and then we lose. Now we'll do Toxic Gators. We're not in a bog space, so we can't put a power on Toxic Gators. But Corporate Interest says if we're within 1 space and we're actually on the space, we will get attacked by a Toxic Gator. Let's see what happens. We get a punch and a grab. Grab becomes a power, and the punch becomes a damage. Bring us to a total of 3 wounds. Okay, a new card, we get Bot Time. There are more inactive objectives than active objectives, which they're not. So this card will basically do nothing. Moving to another turn, we can flip this over and we get a Purple Amalgam. So he is going to go right down here. That's the closest spot to me. So just like before, I'm going to go ahead and end my move step without actually moving. So then I get to regenerate, heal 1 damage, and gain a defense token. I'll gain a punch. So this is tempting because I'm on the spot with an active token. So I can flip it over right now and attack all of these 3 guys with Toxic Gators. And since they don't have any defense, they're all going to take 2 damage, which is pretty nice. But I'm also fully charged with mission tokens, so I can get an extra boost. So now the question is, do I do a big attack now and try to take a couple of these guys out? Or do I flip it over? And I'm kind of leaning towards the big attack, as one is just more fun, right? So let's see how I can do that. I need to get a little bit closer to the boss because I can only pull people 3 spaces with my big attack. So, but I do have movement with my regeneration and practice patience cards. So let's see. Let's go ahead and move 1 space to practice patience right here. So I will gain another defense token. Gain a grab this time. Now, unfortunately, the Toxic Gators will attack me, so let's see what they hit me with. Hit me with a kick and a grab. Good news is I can block both those, so we just get 2 power. So now let's do our massive kinetic chaos. So I can move 4 figures, 3 spaces. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this guy 1, 2, actually let's move him 1, 2, 3, move him behind me. It's a little bit further away from the next objective token. And then I get to attack each enemy engaged with a fighter. So I get to attack all of them with 3 dice. However, I do have 2 mission tokens, so I'll spend those to bring the total up to 5 dice against everyone. Oh yeah. Bring on the pain. So I rolled 2 crits, 2 hits, and a defense. So let's go ahead and roll 2 more dice. Another defense and a hit and defense. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits, and that's enough to take out the green amalgam. For loot, we get Shuriken. So during your turn, you can discard this to do 2 direct damage to any figure. Yeah, I'm just gonna use that right away, because the other amalgam, the yellow one, is at 2 damage, or 2 damage left. So let's go and take him out with the Shuriken. So now he's gone too. And for loot for him, we get a Riot Shield. This is a new one. Discard this card when you would suffer damage. Cancel that damage and deal 3 direct damage to an enemy engaged with you. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Love it. So I was considering moving away so the bad guy wouldn't attack me, but now actually I want the Project X to attack me so I can use the Riot Shield. Now Project X does have 6 wounds out of the 20, so I got a little bit more to go, but let's see if we can't finish up soon. I do want to play a card, Siphoning Essence, so I can heal 1 damage for each enemy engaged with me, which unfortunately, kind of not really, only 1. So I will heal 1 damage, and then I can attack with 2 dice, and that's a grab attack. Okay, hitting the boss. Look at that, a crit, nice. So let's get another dice. We get another hit, so 3 hits. I'm very happy with that turn. We'll have this amalgam. He'll gain 1 random defense token for each mutation, which there are none of, and then he'll advance 3 spaces towards me. 1, 2, 3. He'll attack anyone within 2 spaces, which is nobody. And then I can draw a card. Now, the option of not drawing a card and completing my mission, but I only have a tactic card in my hand, and I want a card that can do some damage. So let's draw a card, and hopefully, yes, it is. Phantom Sweep. So, attack with 2 dice, targeting an enemy up to 3 spaces away. Then if that target has no kick defense tokens, discard 1 card that target controls. Now moving on to the enemy turn, Project X will attack me. But instead of rolling the dice, I'm just going to ignore all the damage and discard this Riot Shield for 3 direct damage back at her. It's going to bring Project X up to 12 total damage. With only 20 health, we're getting close. Now the stage turn, we're going to have Project X move towards the nearest one, which is down here. So 1, 2, 3, or probably 1, 2, probably 3 that way. Okay. And then Toxic Gators. I'm not in that spot, so we don't do anything for that. And I'm also not near the objective token, so we can ignore the corporate interests. We do get a new card. We flip it over. We get On the Clock. Oh boy. For each inactive objective token, the boss moves 1 space towards the nearest inactive. There's only 1 inactive, but the boss is going to move 1 more space. So we're actually getting pretty close to losing, despite doing well dealing damage to the boss. Before we continue on, I do have some cards to use. So I'm going to use my regeneration to move 2 spaces, 1, 2, onto that spot. And then let's go ahead and start a new round. I'm going to get rid of this wait and see. I really need just more cards to do attacks, because I want to end this. The new card we get is Make Your Move. The time for passivity has passed, that's for sure. It's time to take the fight to them, forging your protective position. During your turn, you may spend 1 of each type of defense token to complete this mission. That would be pretty nice if I can get another defense token. I need a grab token. Okay, let's see what bag of card we get. We get another Stacy. Stacy's going to appear right next to me. Let's go and end my move step, so I get rid of that damage. I'm at full health again. And then I get to roll for a random defense token. I get a kick. No, I wanted to grab. For my action step, I am going to interact with this token. So now we get to have the Gators attack everyone that's once in the space with a bog or adjacent to it. So both these guys are getting attacked. Actually, I am going to do that, but before I do that, let's go and use Unstable Ground to get rid of 2 kick tokens from that Stacy. So the skaters will attack with 2 dice. Oh, look at that. I'm glad I did that because 2 kick, I mean Stacy takes 2 damage. And because Project X doesn't have any defense tokens, she will also take 2 damage. Oh man, we are close. Okay, let's go ahead and use regeneration to move 2 spaces. So I'm going to move down here, get this loot, hoping it'll be something that'll be useful to hit the boss. Now before I get my loot, I have to be attacked by the Toxic Gator, so let's roll 2 dice. We get 2 punches. I do have 2 punch tokens, so it turns into power. Alright, and you know what? We are now charged. Unfortunately, I used my action, so I can't do the super attack, but soon. But let's see what we get for a loot card. We get Pepper Spray. At any time, you may discard this card to discard 1 card of figure within 2 spaces of you control. So that's really nice to get rid of those nasty cards. Good news is I don't have to worry about that now, but at least I have it. But I was hoping to get something to help attack. It is what it is, I guess. Yeah, I really don't like how the Stacy, these enemies, they only attack with 2 dice, but I don't want to get rid of my tactic cards. So I think what I'm going to do is play a Phantom Sweep to try to take her out. So Phantom Sweep says attack with 2 dice, targeting an enemy up to 3 spaces, which is Stacy. Then if that target has no kick defense tokens, discard 1 card that target controls. Stacy doesn't have any kick tokens and already has 2 damage. So if these become hits, then we take her out. Let's see what happens. Look at that. 2 hits and we get another dice. I'm definitely going to add another dice because if I do get a shield, I will still gain a defense token, even though it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I get another hit, so it's just overkill, no big deal. But luckily, this enemy is out. I gain a loot card, I gain Shuriken. Oh, nice, direct damage. I am going to end my turn, and this Amalgam is going to attack me with 3 dice. So, see what happens. We get 2 kicks and a grab. I have 2 kicks and a grab, so that becomes 3 power. See what our new card is? We get another Phantom Sweep. Moving on to enemy turn, I'm not next to Project X, so nothing's going to happen. And then we're going to move on the stage turn, so the boss is going to move 3 spaces towards the nearest, which is this. So 1, 2, and then 1 head back down here for the last one, 3. Then Toxic Gators, nothing's happening because I'm not standing in a bog. And the Corporate Interest, I'm not close enough, so nothing happens there. We will get a new stage card. We get Big Bugs, so I'm going to gain this card. So during the threat phase, the next round, I am going to get rid of this mission card, hope for another one I can maybe achieve. Look at what we get. We get Investigate. During your turn, exhaust a tactic card you control while you're in a crate space. That's pretty perfect because I am in a crate space right now. So that is awesome. But if we are too far ahead of myself, we get another Amalgam, a blue one this time. And he's going to appear right here at this entry spot. So I'm going to exhaust Unstable Ground to complete Investigate, so we get a mission token. Our new mission token, our mission card is Make Your Move, so discard 1 of each defense type. Okay guys, this is looking pretty good. I think we just need to set up for a big attack and hopefully we can win this one. Let's go ahead and do our Kinetic Chaos. So move up to 4 figures, 3 spaces each. So let's go and move the boss next to me. Have this guy join the party down here. He's already adjacent to me, and so let's attack everyone adjacent to me. Normally that's only 3 dice, but let's go ahead and spend that mission token to add a 4th dice, or we'll roll 4 dice and hopefully get a lot of hits because we can win the game. We get 4 hits and a shield. Well, that's pretty perfect because we'll get 4 damage to all the enemies, but most importantly 4 damage to the boss. Bring the boss up to 18 out of 20 damage. And guess what? We have a Shuriken. We can throw this for 2 direct damage to the boss and win the game. So Vada reigns victorious against the Abandoned. I hope you enjoyed the play and be looking forward for some more Street Masters plays by me in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next stop.